Welcome to this demo, where we will customize the calendar control. Previously, we added an appointments and a birthdays source. By default, the component will set up add and edit functionality for each source, although only for very specific fields of each source. Let's say that we do not want normal users to add or edit birthdays within the control, as that data may be from an HR system that only managers can edit. We also want to add person and location fields to the appointment instead of just relying on the appointment name field. First, we will need to edit the models. In the calendar component documentation, it is recommended that the query on page load option should be turned off for models that are used as sources to avoid getting duplicate results. In the appointment model, we set the appointment ID field to read only and set the appointment name field's label to appointment description. We also change the start date time and end date time fields to just show as start and end. We change the display type to date time so the fields will show in the correct format on the forms. To disable editing for the birthdays source, we can find it under Event Sources, and in the Event Interactions section, remove all the actions. The birthdays will now only show as read-only entries within the calendar views. Now we create a new modal called Appointment. We drag a form onto the modal, make sure it is connected to the appointments model, and add all the fields. We add a responsive grid to the footer, add a division, and then add 2 button sets. One set to contain the cancel and save options, and another one to contain the delete option. To make sure the delete button only shows when we are editing an appointment, we go to the display logic section and under render if we add a new logic statement, so the delete button is only rendered if the appointment ID field is blank. We then add a new action flow to the delete button. This should have a mark rows for deletion action that is linked to the appointment model. Then a save changes in model action to actually delete the record and a close modal action. In the modal, make sure to enable the Restrict Closing the Modal option. Add new action flows to the cancel and save buttons. The cancel should cancel changes to the model and close the modal. The save should save changes to the model and then close the modal. We will now change the default action flows for calendar click events, so our custom modal will display instead of the default one. For the appointment source under Event Notifications, edit the on-click actions action flow. Add a Show Modal action and select the appointment modal. For the demo, we set the Show Event Details action to be skipped, but they can actually be deleted. On the Create Event Actions flow, we add a Create New Rows actions and set the model to Appointment. We then add a Show Modal action and set the modal to Appointment. We set the original Show Create Event modal to Skipped. The calendar should now be fully functional, but if we create a new record, the start and end dates are not populated by default. For convenience, we can set this automatically by setting default values for the new rows we create when adding an item in the Create Event actions. The start date time and end date time values in double curly braces are merge variables that are made available by the component. The various merge variables are described in the documentation for the calendar component. We can now preview the form. Our custom modal will show when calendar actions are used. Notice that the delete button does not show when we create an appointment, but it does show when editing. Goodbye. We hope you enjoy customizing your components.